be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, I have come to set the earth on fire, and how I wish it were already blazing. There is a baptism with which I must be baptized, and how great is my anguish until it is accomplished. Do you think that I have come to establish peace on the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on, a household of 5 will be divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. A father will be divided against his son, and a son against his father. A mother against her daughter, and a daughter against her mother. A mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Last year, I had the honor and privilege of being a guardian on an honor flight out of Marion, Washington, D.C. I was guardian of 2 veterans, Vietnam veterans. They both were from Anna, Illinois, yet they didn't know each other. And so my job was to make sure that they were safe and that they got around okay to all the different stuff. And it was a long day. It was a very, very good day. And if you ever get a chance, either as a veteran or to be a guardian, I certainly recommend it. So we saw all these different places and stops in Washington, D.C. But you know what was their favorite? Their favorite part of the whole time was when we landed back in Marion. Yeah, because there was a huge, hundreds of people that were there. First responders were there, and military active and other veterans were there, and all kinds of townspeople and stuff. And they were just clapping and rooting for him, cheering him on. And I moved this one guy from Anna in the wheelchair. We were going through these hundreds of people. He said, "Boy, this is sure different from when the last came back from Vietnam." You know, and it was just a real positive moment for them. I think in that image, I think it's a good image for what the author in the second reading was saying about this cloud of witnesses. Right? In heaven, there's this great cloud of witnesses, angels, saints. People you love, who you miss dearly, who you believe are in heaven. It's like its own little cheering section for you. And they're rooting for you, and they're praying for you, they're interceding for you. Because back when this letter was written, all right, the Jewish Christians were going through a real hard time. They were being persecuted all over the place. The Jews were persecuting them, the Romans were persecuting them, and they kind of had to circle the wagons, and they were getting afraid. And so this author reminds them, he writes this letter to them and says, hey, don't forget about those guys upstairs, your ancestors. Don't forget about those people you love and miss. All right? They are rooting for you. They are praying for you. And they're intercessing for you. After all, you know, they're a little closer to God than we are, right? They have that ability. Vocation is everything, they say, right? And so they got the prime vocation, being by God. So when you find yourself in a little distress, persecution, you know, disappointment, frustration, right? Don't forget about that cloud of witnesses. They love you. They really love you. And they want you to be the best person that you're called to be. So keep that in mind when you go to the gospel here. And Jesus said, I came to light a fire on earth. And that fire, he says, is going to cause division. Now you and I, we know all about division. You know? We've got MAGA, we've got anti-MAGA, we've got red, we've got blue, all right? We've got pro-life, we've got pro-choice. We have all these different things that can divide us. We have people that don't even think about God and won't even give God the time of day, all right? And they're in our families. They're people we love. And it causes this division, all right? And it causes this heart. And so Jesus said, well, I'm going to light this fire. And some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to turn away. So the question I ask you is, you going to turn away? Or are you going to try to be that person that God needs you to ignite change, to light a fire, to create change, ignite change, to make things better? Right? Let me give you a couple examples. Kelly Weaverly, in his early 20s, got fed up with the world, and he moved to Alaska. His reason? I want to get away from the world. And so he started his own business there. He was a tour guide with kayaks around Valdez, Alaska, in Prince William Sound. He would give these guided tours on kayaks throughout, in that part of Alaska, and he loved it. Had a great time. He was making money. He felt like he felt it. He was in his little niche there. He was doing what he was supposed to do. Until March of 1989, some of you who are old enough may remember that in that month there was a tanker, an oil tanker, called the Exxon Valdez. It spilled 11 million gallons of oil into Prince William Sound. When Kelly Weaverly got up and went to work, supposedly, and he saw this oil, he said it was looking like, your house has been vandalized, your wife has been raped, and then everything is gone and ruined. He was so mad. But it was the thing, it was that oil spill that created like a little fire under his butt, and got him moving. And he decided, he formed a group, just a very happenstance group that he just kind of, because there was a need. The Valdez Bird Rescue Center. And he got together people who wanted to help. And some of you who are old enough, you may remember seeing on the news, people just scrubbing these birds with the oil off their feathers, their wings, and everything. He had like 220 volunteers. Right? He had like 23 boats that they used to rescue these birds who were trapped. They couldn't get out of the water because of the oil. And he said, I needed that kick in the butt. I thought I was trying to get away from the world, but I realized I'm a part of the world, and I need to do my part. That's lighting a fire. That's doing, taking part in trying to make the world a better place. As Jesus said, he came to light a fire on earth. And then there's Shelby Long. Shelby Long lives in Richmond, Virginia. And in her neighborhood in Richmond is a little rough, right? And there was one point in her neighborhood where it was really, really bad. In 1 year, her little neighborhood had 2 murders, 2 rapes, and 120 burglaries. She said, that's it. She's going to light a fire. She got involved. She got active. She started meeting her neighbors and having block parties and having meetings and stuff, just pulling people together. And as she was doing this, people got to know each other and like each other and respect each other. And she really pulled the neighborhood together. 2 years after that disastrous year of those rapes and murders and burglaries, 2 years after she started meeting with folks in the neighborhood, 0 murders, 0 rapes, and only 20 burglaries. Let's light a fire. I came to light a fire on earth. What about you? You have gifts. You have talents. You've been blessed. What are you doing with that? If you're waiting, are you waiting for God to kind of light that fire on you? This is it. Right here, right now. All right? You have so much. You have so many gifts, so many talents, so many blessings. What are you doing with it? Are you making the world a better place? Are you igniting change for the better? Are you helping? Are you using what God has given you to make our little corner of the world better? What are you doing with all those gifts and talents? Light the fire. Ignite change. After all, which is better? Curse in the darkness? Or light the candle to dispel the darkness? be the best that God calls you to be, hoping that you too can go out of fire and make the world a better place.